What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you are subscribed to this channel, you would know in my last video, I talked about the 5 essential steps to launching an online business. And one of those steps was all about building an audience. Now, the best way to build an audience is to leverage a social media platform just like YouTube. And in fact, when I started, YouTube was one of the top 2 platforms that I used in order to get up and running. And fast forward to years later, we now have 500,000 subscribers on YouTube and a multi-million-dollar business because your girl played her cards right. And so if you want to learn how to launch and run a successful YouTube channel for this year with updated tips, then let me get out of this oodie, put on some makeup, and I will see you in a bit. And yes, I know. I should probably take down my Christmas tree. Who else still has their Christmas tree up in January? Because I don't want to be the only one. All right, welcome back. So let's talk about the first step of launching a successful YouTube channel, and that is understanding your intended target audience. Now, this isn't necessarily to find a niche. This is just to find the group of people that you want to create videos for. So you might be wondering, what the heck do you mean? Let me sit down on this couch and explain it to you. So when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't necessarily have a niche. If you actually look at my first few videos, I was really doing a lot of different topics. Finance, quitting your 9-to-5, mindset, all those different things. However, what tied all those videos together was the fact that my intended audience was that disgruntled millennial that just graduated college and realizing that they need to adult now. That's kind of what all of my videos originally were centered around. It wasn't necessarily all social media videos or all finance videos or all mindset videos. It was kind of a broad range of topics, but all with the millennial in mind. And so when you're creating your videos for the first time, because you don't know what's working yet for yourself, and you also don't know which topics you genuinely love doing yet, my recommendation is to just pick a target audience and really list down all the possible interests that that target audience might have, and then start creating videos around that. By the way, yes, my cat is right there. The second tip that we have for you is doubling down on what works. So if you do follow my tip and you focus on the target audience in general, and if you need more help with that, definitely watch this video where I break it down even further on the differences between a niche, a target audience, an ideal client, whatever else. If you follow my strategy, what you're gonna notice after about like 2 to 3 months of doing videos, you're gonna see certain topics doing better than others. And that's how I really started to accelerate my channel. For example, when I started, I had different topics, but eventually after about 3 months, I noticed that my videos about quitting the 9-to-5 and also about social media were the ones that had the most views in comparison to the other videos that I was doing. And that's when I really doubled down on those topics, specifically the social media topics. And so what you'll see in my channel is the moment I started doubling down was the moment that I saw actual growth on YouTube. However, if I had just picked a niche right away and pigeonholed myself with one topic, I don't think I would have gotten the data that I needed in order to see what people really wanted from my channel. All right, friends, let's talk about the third thing that you're gonna need on your channel, and that is having a very clear cover banner. This is one of the first few things that your prospective subscribers are gonna look at when they creep your channel, so you wanna make sure that it's clear to them why they should subscribe. First few things that you're gonna want is a value proposition. For example, on my cover banner, I say that I help new coaches and content creators get visible and get paid. That is the promise that I'm giving if someone watches my videos. Now, you might not have a value proposition yet, and that's totally okay. At minimum, at least put your content pillars on there. So let's say you talk about fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle, then make sure those 3 keywords are on your cover banner. The second thing that you're gonna wanna have is your upload schedule. Do you upload weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, every Tuesday, every Sunday, what time? If you have a consistent upload schedule, you definitely want your subscribers to know that so that they understand you have an active YouTube channel and they can look forward to your videos. The third thing that you're gonna wanna have is an external link, especially if you plan to monetize or create a business down the line. You wanna make sure you're building your email list and making sure that you're linking to maybe a freebie, lead magnet, or at least driving traffic to a website. So for example, when I created my cover banner, when I was editing it on Canva, I literally made sure that I had an arrow pointing to the place that an external link would be linked so that it draws people's attention to actually click the button. That way I'm able to collect emails from my email list or at least drive traffic to my website. You definitely don't want to miss this step if you plan to monetize in the long term. All right, now let's talk about filming and creating content for your YouTube channel. A big mistake that I see a lot of newer creators doing is they upload the first video that they film right away. To be honest with you, when you are just starting out, you have likely not developed the muscle when it comes to being consistent. So if I were to go back in time, I would absolutely batch 2 to 3 videos before I even upload my first one. Now, the reason why this is strategic is because if you upload your very first video right away, then guess what? The following week, you're gonna have to film another one and another one and another one in order to actually stay consistent on the platform, and you're gonna be chasing your tail. Versus if you were a smart content creator, you would batch at least 2 to 3 in advance before you even upload your first video. That way, if you are still getting the hang of being consistent, or if you have any filming hiccups or whatever else, at least you have some other videos that you can upload. And that way you're always going to be ahead of your content schedule rather than setting yourself up for failure and chasing your tail. Also, just as a pro tip, when you are filming, you absolutely want to have extra batteries because I guarantee that you will run out of batteries, especially if you are filming for the very first time. Filming a video takes hours to do, and so you definitely want to make sure you are prepared. And another thing that is an essential is making sure that you have a memory card. Do not cheap out on the memory card. Make sure you get one that's large enough for your files, or always have backups. Also, I would like to add a disclaimer, and that is when I say have 2 to 3 videos ready before you upload your first one, by no means does it mean that you need to delay your YouTube channel. Don't choose perfection over progress. All it is about having you build the skill of filming videos. That is more important than actually the end result of your videos, because let's be real. Your first video is gonna suck.
Okay, it's gonna suck hard.
But what's most important is you actually get into the habit of getting comfortable on camera, being consistent, editing, all those little skills that is going to really help accelerate your channel and compound over time. So you definitely wanna make sure you focus on that rather than perfection, because I want this to be the last year that you wish you had a YouTube channel, okay? Understood? Good. All right, now let's talk about equipment. Here's what you need. An iPhone. This is your secret weapon, especially nowadays. If you have like an iPhone 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or whatever the number is right now, there is so many good features on iPhone. You can film in 4K. I'm gonna show you if you don't believe me. All right, guys, so I am filming in 4K right now in my office using my iPhone, no microphone. Obviously, you see a difference with my usual equipment, but this is good enough. This is a lot better than what I had years back. And so if you are on a budget or if you just have an iPhone, then film with an iPhone. Also, just as an FYI, you can go to your settings on iPhone, hit camera, and then in record video, you can actually choose what type of quality you want, whether that's 4K, 1080p, or 720p. Now, if you want to know what equipment I use as the next step, then let me show you. All right, so this is the video setup that I have been absolutely loving. This is the Sony ZV-1, and what I have on top of it is the Rode Video Micro, and this is the Joby stick that I have in order to use it as a selfie stick, but also a tripod. Now let me explain to you guys why I love my YouTube setup. So obviously this is like a little tripod, but you can also turn it into a selfie stick like this, and you're able to get a lot of great angles this way, or you can make it shorter and actually make it a lot mobile and a lot more compact, so you can put it in your purse, you can go outside with it, you can go up and down with it. It is a lot easier to use than my old setup, which was really, really clunky and really, really big. This has allowed me to elevate my content by a landslide. So I highly recommend this, even if you're a beginner. It's a lot less expensive than some of the other gear that's out in the market, because this is not a mirrorless camera, this is a point and shoot camera, and it is really one of the best cameras for content creators who are just starting out. But even for someone like me who's been doing content for 3 years, I highly, highly recommend this, and I love it. So all the links are in my description box, or you can visit my tools page to get access to all the equipment that I use when I create content. All right, now let's talk about the next step of having a successful YouTube channel, and that is editing the actual video and editing the thumbnail, because you definitely want it to be attention grabbing. Now, for the video side of things, when I first started, I used iMovie or Final Cut Pro, and I just kind of learned it on my own. Over time, I've outsourced video editing, and my biggest tip is to check out sites like Upwork. There are a lot of video editors that are available on there depending on your budget, and also outsourcing the thumbnail design as well. On Upwork, you could get someone to edit your thumbnail for as low as $5 or $10 each. And I personally think it's really worth it, especially if you're someone who's working a 9 to 5 and you have a little bit of disposable income to invest in your channel and to also save yourself a lot of time. And just for reference, all of my thumbnails from here onwards were all done by a graphic designer on Upwork. So it's pretty inexpensive, and I definitely think that it is worth the time to get amazing thumbnails like this. Now, of course, if you are doing the DIY route, meaning that you're doing it on your own, I have an amazing resource here all about thumbnails that you should definitely check out, because you can edit all your thumbnails on Canva as well. Now, although I am not a pro video editor and it was one of the first things that I ever outsourced on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna put you on some tips. Number one is keep your videos short. The attention span on YouTube is very, very, very small. And so if you don't have a warmed up audience yet, I don't think that launching your first video as a 30-minute video is gonna do you justice. I think 10 minutes is really the sweet spot. And if you're noticing that your content is really, really long, that's a good indication that you might wanna break that up into a few videos instead of just one. So instead of one whole video about how to start a YouTube channel, maybe what I'll do is I'll have one video about thumbnails, one video about editing, one video about picking a niche. That's something that you can consider if your videos are finding to be on the longer side. The second thing that I'll have to say too is making sure that you're not over editing your videos. A mistake that I made when I first started is I edited out every single mistake that I made. I had so many sound effects. I was just doing everything. I was doing the most basically. And so my biggest advice is just to keep it simple. As long as someone can hear you, see you, understand you, and there are a few engaging elements, you already have a winning video. So I'm just in bed right now reviewing the video that you're watching, and I realized what a hypocrite I sound like by telling you guys to keep your video simple, but this entire video is like overly edited. So let me explain myself. If you are starting out and you are doing everything on your own, you are the video editor, you are the talent, you are the content creator, you are the marketer, you are the business owner, you are doing all the things, then you just want to be mindful of how you're spending your time and making sure that you're not getting caught up in the bells and whistles. Now, once you actually start getting traction, or you have a little bit of money to spend and you have a video editor, that's when you can get creative and you can kind of do all the things. But I want you guys to realize that when you are just starting out, you do not have that luxury. And so make sure you're spending your time wisely and do not get caught up in all the micro details, okay? And by the way, I just want to add something. If you want more views on your YouTube videos, your video editing is not going to get you more views. Your title, your topic, and your thumbnail is what's going to get you more views. Now, if you want more retention and more engagement, then yes, that might be your video editing. And so if you want to learn more about YouTube analytics, learning more about how to optimize your videos, I have a full-blown video lesson over here, just all about how to optimize your videos depending on what goal you have. So definitely after you watch this video that I have. All right, back to the video. All right, now that you've uploaded your video, what's next? Well, what's next is promoting the living shit out of your video. I don't care who you are, whether you are starting from zero, you wanna make sure that you promote it in the community tab on YouTube. You wanna make sure you share it on your Instagram stories. You wanna make sure you share it in your feed posts. You wanna make sure you share it on Facebook. You wanna make sure that it's just everywhere that you can possibly share it, because the first 24 hours of your video matters. The more engagement and views that you get in the first 24 hours, it shows to YouTube that,
this is someone to look out for. This is a good piece of content.
And it increases the chances of you getting shown in the algorithm. So make sure that you're actually making an effort to promote your videos. Some additional things that I like to do is I like to do my community tab where I put a picture and I just put a little post about my video and I link it. I like to put it on my Facebook page. I like to put it in my stories where I'll edit maybe like a 30-second teaser for it. And I also like to take the highlights of my videos and turn those into Instagram Reels. And all it really takes is for you to edit it and just crop it to the dimension for IG Reels or TikTok. That's really gonna help you maximize your visibility. And of course, making sure that if you have an Instagram account, that your video is also embedded in your link in bio. The website that I like to use and that I like to recommend is campsite.bio. This is the one that I use to put all of my links when it comes to Instagram. So the reason why I really love using Campsite is with the paid plan, you can actually schedule your links. So if you are a YouTuber and you're always uploading new links, this is really, really helpful. And overall, I just love the ease of use and the interface of it, where I can add pictures and thumbnails to it to make my links. All right, guys, so if you got to the end of this video, do me a favor and comment, "This is my year," so that I know you are committed to starting your YouTube channel. If you want more YouTube tips from me, I have a full-blown playlist that goes into even more detail on a lot of the steps that I just shared. Thank you so much for watching. Cannot wait to see you next week, and good luck on your YouTube channel. Bye, guys.